in my book, You Can't Fillet and Nibble, it's the catch that counts, I share with you that over 40% of sales people do not make a second follow-up, whereas over 82% of sales are made between the 5th and 12th attempt. So if you know that, common sense should tell us that if we follow up more, because the fortune is in the what? I cannot hear you. The fortune is in the what? Follow up. Make sure you never forget that. So if we know that, psychologically, why don't we follow up more? I mean, that's the answer. If you followed up more, that's one of the major answers to putting you in another zip code. You would get more results. Let me share with you why. There's two pieces to this puzzle. One is you're either going to be passive or you're going to be persistent. Now, there's a side effect to each one of these. If you're passive, here's the side effect of being passive. I will be poorer. Yep, poorer is a word. $50,000 a year in income annually is poorer than $100,000. $100,000 annually income is poorer than $200,000. Now, you want to know what the side effect is of being persistent? Check this one out. You might want to jot this down. I will piss people off. Now, I'm not saying you're going to do that intentionally. You could be the most passive person in the world. Speak only to 50 people in the year. A percentage of those people will not like you. They brought Jesus Christ up on Trump charges and killed him. They killed Gandhi. My point here is you can't be overly concerned about what other people think. Those are three things I want to share with you now that you must master to be incredibly persistent. Number one, not to be overly concerned about what other people think. Now notice I add the word not to be overly concerned about what other people think. Well, because I am concerned from time to time about what other people think. For example, if somebody slanders me on social media, we'll have our legal team go after them. But if somebody says, you suck, you're no good, I hate your stuff, that's an opinion, and I don't make that any part of my business, and everybody's entitled to their opinion. So say crappy stuff about me, but don't slander. So I'm not overly concerned what other people think. Number two, you must have a high what and what? Value in what? Belief. In what? That's the key. Two things. Myself, and what's the other? Your product and or services. This is why value and belief is so powerful. So watch this. So we're going to have value and belief. We have a line here and a line here. And value and belief and a line here and a line here. So let's say that you have huge value in yourself and you have a high belief in yourself and you have high value in your product and services, but you don't believe in your product and services. Will you take massive action to get more results and be persistent, yes or no? No. Absolutely not. Let's change this up. Let's say I have low value, high belief in myself, high value in my product and service, high belief in my service and products, but I have very, very low value. Will you take massive action and be persistent now? Absolutely not. And if you don't get these managed, here's the problem. I'll give you a scenario. You make a phone call. Somebody picks up the phone and says, look, I'm super busy, call me another time. All right, so you call them another time, they don't pick up. What happens now? If you're not careful, everybody in this room, myself included, you will create a what? Say nice and loud, story. Story. What does the story say when you're beginning and want to and you know you should follow up and make another phone call? Anybody have any idea what your story might say? Throw one at me. Here's one. I'm going to piss them off if I call again. Anybody else?
They don't want to buy.
Say it again?
They
don't want to buy. And if you buy that belief, will you take action, yes or no? No. And you don't take action because you don't have a high enough value in a belief here and high enough value in a belief there. Does that make sense, everybody?
Yeah.
What's another story you hear? Come on. You got to know your stories. I know you have them because you'll be massively more persistent. What are some of the stories? Come again?
I'm busy right now. Can I call you back?
I'm busy not now. I'm busy not now. Can I call you back?
Yes.
All right. Anybody else? Not interested. Oh, that's obviously why they're not calling me back. They're not interested. If they're interested, they'd call me back. No. The difference between a person who is massively massively persistent. And those who are not, is those who are massively persistent still have a story, but they've learned to not obey it and ignore it. If you want to be massively persistent, focus on your value and belief here, and then you will have a reason to ignore your story to be massively persistent. Let me give you an example how I apply this. And this, I tell you what, this has made me millions. I'm going to bring up a real phone call. All right. What's your name, sir?
Andrew.
Andrew. I'm going to cover the name. This is a billionaire. I'm blessed to have about 7 billionaires on my phone. I wanted to do business with this billionaire. I started on social media in October, reaching out to him. No engagement. What date is that?
January 23rd.
January 23rd, right? How many texts? That's 1.
No.
That's 2. That's 3. What month is that?
February.
February the 11th. That's 4. That's 5. That's 6. We're in March now. That's 7. Boom! He responds, let's talk next week. And then, as I've continued the conversation, he goes with this. Where's it at? And I'm just going to take the time because I want you to see you just cannot friggin' stop. Here we go. Gary, I have every GM on board at such and such a place. I'm in. How many attempts? 7 attempts. Now, do you feel or do you think that any time I try to text this man who is a billionaire, do you think I had a story in my head? Yeah. I'm human like you, or you're darn right. The one story I have in my head, most than everybody's, for me, is I'm going to piss him off. Because I'm not going to just try 2 times. How do you get to this point? If you know the fortune is in the follow-up, you will focus on your high value and belief in yourself and high value and belief in your products. Let's keep going.